first session is going to be corporate social responsibility. And in the second session, we'll be talking about international network. Very gladly that today we still have many distinguished speakers from all over the island, actually, in Taiwan. So I would like to first introduce our chair for this session. It's Professor Zhong Xiaoling. He's from the Creative Industry Institute in Cheng Kung University in the South. She's also the board member of the association in Taiwan Cultural Policy Studies. So I will give the time to Professor Zhong. Yes.
Thank you, Jerry. I know that we have very limited time. And hello everyone, I'm Xiaoling, and as Professor Lee mentions, I'm the Associate Professor with the Institute of Creative Design in the Southern National Cheng Kung University. And my honor today, and just to introduce and also to facilitate this 1 hour session. And as you can see from the brochure, this session is actually we're trying to focus on the social responsibility of the corporates and also the social return on investments. And as we all know, they are the two actually very changing, evolving, and accommodating notions. But still, we are very lucky today to have the 3 presenters and also speakers and practitioners from different parts and different sectors, from the arts, and also from the creative content, and also from the theater. And so, not to talk too much, so just let me show you just briefly the 3 speakers today. Firstly is Renfeng Executive Joyce Ke, okay? She's the Executive Director of the Art Taipei, is the Art Economy Research Institute, okay? And then second, then we will have Xiaowei, and also ECATC. She's now taking care as the Director of the Strategy and Development of the Taiwan Creative Content Agents. And after Joyce talking about how the all institutions could facilitate and looking at the different practices and measures of social impact and also return. And then Xiaowei will be talking about how the creative agent as a platform and to encourage the ecosystem. And then luckily, the final, we will be finishing the section with Director also Joyce Cho, okay, with the National Theater. So she will be focusing as the current general and artistic director. She will be practicing and also sort of introducing how the Taiwan theater, so as a figure, and encouraging local business, not as just sponsoring art, but also becoming our patrons. So that's what I learned from the abstract, okay? So each speaker will have 15 minutes, so I will just try to moderate in the time. So hopefully after 3 presentations, then we will have probably 10 or 15 minutes together and to have some comments and questions. So note your questions, okay, everyone? So let's welcome the first presenter, okay?
Joyce, you can also call me Renfeng. I represent the Taipei Art Economy Research Center. And very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation by Professor Jerry and ENCATC and TACPS. For the first section of today, my job is not put you to sleep, but it's a very tough task. I try my best and please bear with me. The topic is corporate social responsibility and social return on investment. I would like to bring you a little bit briefing of the background of this topic. As we know, there are multiple motivations that the corporate support for the arts and the culture, including personal goals and advertising exposure. Today, many companies are looking beyond profits and have started making other values part of their top priorities. The trend of CSR means that companies are trying to do some good in the world in addition to making money. Corporate sponsorship in the arts has become gradually popular. Meanwhile, many nonprofit organizations or art institutes have encountered great difficulties in presenting the benefits of art initiatives or measuring social impact of our projects. In order to keep abreast of global trends in CSR and remain committed financial support from private sectors, it is essential for today's cultural intermediaries to understand and enhance the ability of adopting social impact evaluations and measurement tools to measure social investment return on donation, which will become an effective communication tool to reach stakeholders and responsible investors. So the topic today that I would like to bring out is about CSR in arts and how we can achieve it. First, we need to know about CSR, and then we need to know that the company care what they care about and how they get the return from their investment in terms of maybe they are more care about the return from society instead of the money they put on the project. And what's the role of cultural intermediaries play today to help art institutes to apply the fundings from the private sectors. On the other hand, in order to focus on improving and further maximizing the influence and effectiveness of the investment, social impact evaluation and measurement tools will help corporate to convince stakeholders who also face the need for standardization of information disclosure. As a strong partnership between cultural intermediaries and private sectors, it will be integral to ensuring that the art and culture are strong, well-placed. So as you can see, this is the case of BMW, and this is the BMW Guggenheim Lab. And this project was a mobile laboratory about urban life that began as a co-initiative of Guggenheim Foundation and BMW Group. Since 2011 to 2014, the lab traveled to New York, Berlin, Mumbai. They are actually the mega city of today. The lab's goal was the exploration of new ideas, experimentation, and ultimately to create a forward-thinking version of and projects for city life. The global project explored how people relate to a city and public space today. According to statistics, from 2008 to 2012, the BMW Group has allocated a certain proportion, about 6% to 10% of their annual budget to the culture from CSR budget, and the funds are subject to corporate social responsibility year by year. So it's actually a big amount of the funding to support CSR in arts. So let's go back to see what's the standardization of CSR that as the company has to disclosure to their stakeholders and their investors. As we can see, there are almost four. The first is ISAE 3000 is the standard for assurance of non-financial information. It's about non-financial information, and it's issued by International Federation of Accountants. And the standard considers of guidelines for the ethical behavior, quality management and performance of an ISAE 3000 engagement. And the second is accountability principles 2018. The third is ISO 216, social responsibility guidance provides on how business and organization can operate in a socially responsible way. And the fourth is Global Reporting Initiative, GRI. And the most recent of GRI's reporting frameworks are the GRI standards launched on October 2016, developed by Global Sustainability Standards Board. And the GRI standards are the first global standards for sustainability reporting and are a free public good. So it's free to download. You could actually download from GSSB website, and then you could have approached all the principles of these guidelines. And these principles, above all, actually goes to the principle for responsible investment, PRI. And it's the notion of PRI is addressed by national supported principles for responsible investment since 2005. It's an international network, investors working together and put the 6 principles into practice, which are based on the notion of environmental, social, and governance. Actually, it's called ESG issues. And it's more popular now for the private sector to consider CSR in terms of ESG issues. Maybe it's only 3 topics and it's easy to understand, so it's easy to put that in the CSR policies. And finally, and these principles that we were talking about is actually redefining the principles of performance evaluation and responsible investment. So it put this private sector to rethinking their investment on the culture and not just look at a budget from the financial viewpoint. So finally, we go to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and it's being brought up constantly in these 2 days. The SDGs, also known as the Global Goals, was adopted by all United Nations members since 2015 as an universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2013. It's actually a very, very big dream. So as you can see, compared with the SDGs and ESG, for the private sector, maybe ESG is easier to adopt into their corporate governance. All right, so we now look into what happened in Taiwan, the movement in Taiwan. By riding on the newest wave of CSR, the Taiwan Financial Supervisory Commission has successively revised the standards of disclosure of CSR. Joined the Taiwan Stock Exchange and the Taipei Exchange to launch corporate governance best practice principles and also ethical corporate management best principles since 2010. So they are these 2. In 2010, you can see on the slide. And each TWSE listed company is advised to adopt its own ethical corporate management best practice principles applicable to its business group and organization. And since 2014, by joining the World Federation of Exchanges, Taiwan Stock Exchange has gradually promoted the Taiwan's capital market to meet the needs of ESG issues. And since 2017, in order to promote the TWES listed companies to support the development of the culture in Taiwan, the Ministry of Culture in Taiwan has coordinated with the Taiwan Financial Supervisory Commission and the Taiwan Stock Exchange include promoting cultural development into corporate governance best practice effectively as of 2019. So it's actually the newest breakthrough. Okay. Now, as you can see on this slide, it's actually how the Taiwan Stock Exchange to evaluate the performance of a company in which they adopt CSR in their corporate governance. And it's actually divided into 5 segments. The first is maintenance of total stakeholders' equity, around 50%. The second is equal treatment of stakeholders, take 30%. And the third is the board structure of operating procedures. And the fourth is information transparency. And the last is implement CSR. It takes 80% of this evaluation. So from this pie chart, you can know that what company cares, how they evaluate their performance annually, and how they take the responsibility to face their stakeholders, and the information they have to disclosure. So, started from the implement CSR, it actually, the key point of the corporate needs to consider when putting arts sponsorship in their CSR project is that corporate often need to set numbers of KPI in their CSR projects. American for the Arts published a report of corporate social responsibility in the arts in 2015, which stated that most corporates in the United States believe that it is a very challenging task for them to evaluate the influence towards the society with all the money devoted into the arts. That is to say, for many corporates, they do not emphasize on the return on investment regarding those money. And what are seeking for is actually the return from society, which make the setting of KPI in CSR is different from traditional financial viewpoint. And it's actually a new idea to see CSR as return from society instead of return on investment. And it's totally different, and that actually affects how you choose your measurement tools. For example, research association such as at Harvard Business School jointly published the article, The Truth About CSR, is which they probed on the motivations, key factors, and cooperation patterns regarding cooperation participating in cultural events are listed into 3 factors. The first is focusing on philanthropy. The second is transforming the business model. And the third is improving operational effectiveness. And this also an interesting research outcome, because you can see it actually can become a cycle of a company where they adopt the CSR ideas into their corporate governance and transforming the business model into improving operational effectiveness. So how they do that? BMW successfully achieved it by the Guggenheim project, They invite people to join their art project and collect information from the people who they what they future city, and they collect it to adopt in their mobile or their car design. So it's actually improve their operational effectiveness in a certain way. Okay, so let's see. I believe what get measures gets done. So if we use measurement tools, we need to know what we are looking for first. So if we are looking for a return from society, and it actually will create asset value in terms of tangible and intangible asset value. And then that will improving operational effectiveness as a principle, part of principles of corporate governance. And that will be the chance that we put CSR idea into sponsorship projects and apply the support from the private sectors. So these are the measurement tools that we propose. It's about the impact value chain, as you can see from the slide. And from this slide, it's the measurement movement of the SROI. And this can be spread into the budget sheet, and you collect the numbers from the budget sheet to become the outcome of SROI. And that will become a very long-term measurement time, so at least 3 years, I suggest. And eventually, we measure the impact of this sponsorship or the philanthropy from the private sectors to help them improving operational effectiveness and to address how they can get return from the society, and that will benefit back to your project as the social impact and could become a sustainable development goals. These are the presentation that I bring up today. Thank you very much.
I have my notes on my laptop and it cannot show there, so I have to do some work here. So I have to operate 2 sites at the same time now. Yeah, okay. Just a second. Hi everyone, I'm Ipa from TACPS, and my main focus will be intermediary organization and CSR today. Thank you for having me here. This year, with the effort of MOC, the Financial Supervisory Commission has agreed to include the support of cultural development within the scope of CSR best practice principles for TWSE, that's 证交所, and GT and SM, that's 柜买中心 listed companies. So along with MOC and other intermediary organizations in the cultural sectors, TAICA will be the key actors to build a CSR platform. And I'm going to share some thoughts and plans that we're going to do and the progress on this matter. So, next. Some short introduction of myself. I work as a documentary filmmaker and a writer, and I worked for the past 7 years in civic tech community. So that means I'm the one to propose CSR proposals to corporates for the past 7 years. And I'm now working as Director of Strategy and Research in Taiwan Creative Content Agency. And also I'm a mother of 2 under 5. So that means I care about the future. I do care. Let me introduce a little bit about TAICA and our work. It's newly funded. It's just 4 months old now. It's founded in June, actually. So Toy Creative Content Agency is established to support cultural sustainability and enhance Taiwan's cultural soft power. And I'll share some works that we do, and it will relate to CSR later, so be patient. So it's an intermediary organization, and we support for creative content industries. And most importantly, we are managing the National Development Fund that is about $3 million US. So we have this financial support, and we want to welcome the venture, the corporates to work with us. So actually it's very early, and I woke up in the 6 in the morning to write some notes, so I have to see the notes. The cultural industries we support encompass film and TV, music, publishing, animation, comics, games, and fashion industries. We also work on the supports for art production, especially on cross-domain between arts and technology to explore the future of storytelling. So what I do here is to have research, of course, to know the cultural field, including key talent training, industry research, industry database, and knowledge exchange. And another important work that we do is that we help build content development infrastructures for Taiwan, the whole industry. So part of our mission is to initiate content development actions by, for example, offering artists and producers to achieve the data and data of cultural elements to accompany projects throughout the development process. We also bring together fields of expertise to form production partnership. So, shaping the industrial cluster of future storytelling, TAICA brings together creation and technology. So we will connect the world's best technology brands, and we embrace the 5G era and work together with corporates and institutions in the technological field. This is to bring more resources into the world of culture. So this will be the platform that we're forming. Most importantly, we do capital matching. So our financial services consist of connecting investors and funds to invest in the industry. And another important part of So another important part of our financial service is connecting corporate social responsibility to the cultural industries and to build stronger and more sustainable partnership. We empower the cultural and creative industries and bring corporates and the cultural industries together to create strategy. In the end, we hope to create a system in which corporates and cultural creators could benefit from the partnership. So we have investment and financing consultation, and also we're building CSR platform that we'll talk later. So after building the platform, the main focus of TACPS' mission is to have a stronger connection to the world. So we hope that we can have a smarter branding market for the industries I mentioned above. And so by saying building an ecosystem, this is what I thought about for the past some weeks, that in the lifetime of a content or cultural development, for example, it's a TACPS example. It has IP development, support system, maybe incubator center, branding, investment planning, and distribution. In every step, thank you, Jerry. In every step of the progress in the process, the corporate's resources could play a role in every step. And TACPS will be the initiate intermediary organization to connect corporates and invite them into the process and to be the culture's best partners. So including financial, that means including financial support. Maybe they can do volunteer work, co-work, strategic partners, and achieve cultural sustainability together. In recent research, we found that there are some different steps of CSR devotion from corporations. Maybe first, it's just simple financial support and volunteer work. They might invite their staff to come to the cultural events, and then maybe some expertise exchange, and then maybe the cultural groups can exchange resource matching from the corporates, and then there will be some possibilities to build business collaboration, and maybe we can have strategic partnership built in the process. So this is the 5 levels of participation, CSR participation that we're imagining, and we're practicing. So our role, TACPS' role, maybe in the beginning of next year, it is to accompany corporates and the cultural content industries in groups to work together and level up step by step. And there's a very interesting research recently. It shows that only 45% of only 47 of companies listed in the Taiwan Stock Exchange has invested in culture field, culture sector. So that means we have 53 more to persuade. They can come into the partnership to become investors of, these are the top 5, community development, performing arts and culture and education, visual arts and creative lifestyles. I don't quite understand what's creative lifestyles. Maybe it's small markets, or art, craft. Yeah, that's the top 5. So that means there's a lot more we can do. So TAICA won't be the only one intermediary organization in this map, because building the ecosystem needs every different stakeholder to come in. So we are now working on building this platform, and firstly online, we're going to build a new website. That's a big work, and also we're going to invite many cultural intermediary organizations to come into the work group. So first, the website and the platform what we're working on is what's the user study of the whole picture. That include creators and corporates and also different cultural organizations. And that should be online and offline at the same time, because it needs a lot of communication and collaboration. It's not just proposed online and some corporate will come to say, oh, hello, that's work. No, it needs a lot of offline communication. So business participation in social cultural affairs, how to make it happen. We have to make exchange meeting or proposal pitches. So now we are trying to bootstrap the culture for CSR community. That means maybe every one of you in this room will participate in this ecosystem. So the work we'll do is promote, propose, and persuade. And one case study, one previous case study in Taiwan, that is a movie called To the Fore. So bicycle manufacturers, bicycle manufacturers come to sponsor this bicycle is Merida, and the main character is wearing this Merida suits, and high sales number of limited edition is of the bicycle is come along with the movie, and they inspire the audience to start bicycling, and they may be potential customers. So from now to beyond, what can we do from 2019? Maybe we can start, or we will start from the current models and expand partnership network, bring more corporates to participate. Now we have Wenxinjiang, that is Arts and Business Awards, and we have the award winners. Maybe we can invite them to persuade more corporates, maybe, or international corporates to come into this new area. It's not new, but it's new for Taiwan. So we'll talk to Renfeng maybe later. We have to, we need the measurements to persuade corporates why you're doing this. Because branding improve effectiveness of operation, and improve business models. So from here, that is where I stand here. And then we like to combine CSR to persuade, to bring more corporate and bring social return of investment to the society. I don't know if you are Trekkie, but I am. I rewrote a line from Captain Picard. Anyone know Captain Picard? Anyone? Okay. So I'll say it. New Frontier. It's from, yeah, you know. CSR for culture. It's a new frontier. These will be the voyagers of the intermediary organizations. Our continuing mission to explore new possibilities for cultural development, to seek out new cooperations and new collaborations, to boldly go beyond where someone has gone before. Someone you are laughing, thank you. And that's my talk today. Thank you.
Good morning. I hope you are still with us. Yeah, I promise I'll be quick. I'm from the National Taichung Theater, and just like theater has to close to people, so I'm going to go to the front instead of hiding behind because I'm short. And I want you to see me because I'm from theater, you know, it's performing art. So, to begin with, I have to, as what I learned from my two colleagues earlier, we have to do some introduction. So I'm going to tell you where I'm from. The National Performing Arts Center. This is a public foundation. It's in UK you call executive agency. So we receive funding from the government, but also we have to have our self-income. We have to come up with like 40% to 50% of income from ourselves. So we have to fight for many things, not only corporate, but also we have to fight for our audience from video games, from sports, from karaoke, and from many, many other entertainment. And under this Performing Arts Center, we have three major performing art venues. These are professional venues from Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. The first one, Taipei, founded 1987, and there's nothing happened in 29 years. And Taichung opened in 2016, and Kaohsiung last year. And you can see that 267.4 million is the population of Taipei. But I hope, my friends here from local will understand that Taipei is not only 2-something million or close to 3 million because we are so close to New Taipei City. So I think the metropolitan area might be close to 4 million. And since this Performing Arts Center founded 33 years ago, so the market, the performing art market it's mature, and also 90% of the performing art groups or the professionals from performing art groups are in Taipei area, the metropolitan of Taipei area. So what left for Taichung and Kaohsiung? We have to work for ourselves. But I have to say something to Ipa because she just mentioned that top 5 major corporates invest in first, community development, second, performing arts, 3, arts and culture, education. I have to say, no, that's not true in reality. That's not true in life. The first, I don't say investment. I would say that they donate or they sponsor mostly religious activities, right? Yes, because it will give you a better future. See what I mean? Future, your next life. So, okay, back to the. Okay, so what you can see from here for the population in 3 cities are similar, and Taipei is it's geographically it's in a basin, so everybody's so close to each other. But Taichung, oops, no point. Oh, anyway, Taichung in the center of Taiwan is in the west coast. It's fields, so it's more open. And Kaohsiung down south, if you travel by high-speed rail from Taipei to Taichung, is 47 minutes from Taichung to Kaohsiung is 45 minutes. What tells you? Meaning, Taichung is in a very convenient area, a very convenient, you can travel to north, to south, and everybody comes here easily. So, give me some new idea. Don't get me wrong, I'm from Taipei. I live in Taipei for my past 50-something years. But I relocated to Taichung last June. I became the general director. Formerly, I was the executive director of National Symphony Orchestra for 12 years. For overseas, we call ourselves Taiwan Philharmonic. Is the best, one of the best symphony orchestra in Asia. I really want to say that one of the best in the world, but